Lakshmi Prasanna, Assistant Professor, Department of ECE, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. In this session, we will discuss about Introduction to 8051 microcontroller. So here, first, what is meant by microcontroller? So there are different types of microcontrollers. First, we will see what is meant by microcontroller. So here, the word micro and another word is here controller. So generally, micro means the general meaning. It is small. That means it is small in size. And here, controller represents, it controls all the operations. So here, controller controls all the operations. So that means here it is a small IC which is going to control all the operations. So this is what microcontroller means. Next. So coming to the definition of microcontroller. So here microcontroller is a small and low cost microcomputer which is designed to perform a specific task. That means in big applications and all, in order to perform a individual task, in that case we are going to use microcontrollers. So which is designed to perform the specific task of embedded systems like displaying microwave information, receiving remote signals. So for all these applications, in order to control any one specific task in a big applications, in that case we are going to use a microcontroller. So for example, if you take this displaying microwave information, that means in the microwave application, we have different operations like rotating the dish, displaying the temperature. Okay. So here by using a simple microcontroller, we can display the information, that means temperature information. So microcontroller is used in order to perform a specific task in an embedded system applications. Now, so the general microcontroller consists of processor, memory. So here the memory may be either RAM, that is random access memory, or the memory can be ROM, that is read-only memory, or the memory may be EPROM. So erasable programmable read-only memory. And it also consists of serial ports and peripheral devices. So the peripheral devices may be either timers, counters. Okay. So generally any microcontroller will consist of all these devices inbuilt. Okay. So all these devices no need to connect externally. All these devices will be present on the microcontroller itself. So that is why it is called computer on chip. So here generally based on the application, whatever, how many components the microcontroller consists of internally, based on the task or based on the application, only particular peripherals will be or particular components will be used. So here it consists of memory like RAM, ROM, EPROM. Okay. So generally this microcontroller consists of memory inbuilt. But if that memory is not sufficient, there is also possibility of connecting external memory to the microcontroller by using port pins. Now, so before going to the discussion of microcontroller, first we will see the differences between microprocessor and microcontroller. So already we have discussed about different specifications related to microprocessor, because in the previous sessions we have studied about one of the microprocessor in detail, that is 8086 microprocessor. Now here in the coming sessions we are going to discuss about the microcontroller. There are different types of microcontrollers, but basically here the basic microcontroller what we are going to study is 8051 microcontroller. Now, so coming to the differences between this microprocessor and microcontroller. Regarding architecture point of view, the microprocessor will consist of the microprocessor. It also consists of ROM, that is memory, and read-write memory, that is RAM, and serial interface, and it consists of IO port and also timer. So this microprocessor also consists of all the components like memory, peripherals, like timers and serial ports. But here in microcontroller, all the devices should be connected externally by using system bus. But here coming to the microcontroller, so here we have microcontroller. Inside the microcontroller itself, no need to connect all the components externally for the microcontroller. In the microcontroller itself, we have all the components like ROM, that is read-only memory, read-write memory, that is RAM, and it also consists of some peripherals like timers and serial ports, and it also consists of IO ports. So all these components will be inbuilt inside this microcontroller. So this is the basic difference, first difference regarding architecture point of view. And next difference is microprocessor is the heart of computer system, whereas microcontroller is the heart of embedded system. So in computers and all, we are going to use this microprocessor. To the microprocessor, all the peripherals will be connected externally. But whereas in the embedded system applications, big applications, in order to perform a specific task, we are going to use this microcontroller. And next, coming to the microprocessor, it is just a processor. Nothing will be inbuilt. To the processor, everything should be connected externally. So it is just a processor. Memory and IO components are connected externally. So coming to the microcontroller, microcontroller has external processor along with internal memory and IO components. That means all the components will be inbuilt. Suppose for example, if you take memory, if the internal memory, it consists of RAM and ROM, but if that internal memory, whatever is available, if it is not sufficient, we can also have the external memory interfacing also. And it cannot be used in compact systems and hence it is inefficient. And it can be used in compact systems, so it is efficient. And next difference is cost of the entire system increases. So in the microprocessor, cost of the entire system will be increased. Why? Because all these components should be connected externally. So you should have more interfacing in between. And coming to the microcontroller, cost of the entire system is low. That means if you purchase a single IC, everything will be there in that IC itself. So cost of the entire system will be reduced. Next. So coming to the next differences, microcontroller. So due to external components, the entire power consumption is high. So every component should be provided power supply. All of them are connected externally. So that is why the power consumption will be very high. But coming to the microcontroller, since the external components are low, the entire power consumption is less because all the components are present on the chip. So here the power consumption is less. If you supply power supply for the IC, it is enough. No need to supply power for the all components individually. Since memory and IO components are all externally connected, so it will need external operation. Hence it is relatively slower because the microprocessor have to drive all the external components that are connected. So that is why the speed is less. Next difference, microcontroller. So all the components are internally connected. So the operations in the internal instruction, in order to execute and all, it will be fast. Speed of operation will be increased. because all the components are inbuilt, accessing will be very easy. And microprocessor has less number of registers, hence most of the operations are memory based. So as we know, in the microprocessor, less number of registers are available. But so that is why we are using more amount of memory in order to do some operations. But whereas in the microcontroller, it consists of more number of registers. So it is very easy to write the program by using registers. That means no need to use memory unnecessarily. Because in the microcontroller, we will have register banks. And coming to the next differences, microprocessor. This microprocessor are designed based on von Neumann architecture. So as we have studied in the previous sessions, von Neumann architecture will have program and data residing in the same memory module. Whereas here, if you come for the microcontrollers are designed based on the hardware architecture. In the hardware architecture, program memory will be residing separately and data memory will be residing separately in its own units. And so, if you use the microprocessors, we can use microprocessor applications in the big applications like computers and all. But coming to the microcontroller, they are used to execute a single task within an application. That means if you take any embedded application and all, in order to perform a specific task, we can use microcontroller. Next. So, coming to the microprocessor, it does not consist of RAM, ROM and I/O ports. That means on the chip, it is not having all these memory and I/O ports. So it uses its pins to interface to the peripheral devices. So all these devices will be connected externally through the ports. But coming to the microcontroller consists of CPU, that is microprocessor, memory, RAM and ROM, and I/O ports inbuilt. And so microprocessor will be used in personal computers, that is applications, whereas microcontrollers can be used in some applications like washing machines, MP3 players. So MP3 player is a big application. So in order to control any specific parameter like sound, okay, and all, we are going to use the microcontroller. So it is going to perform some specific task in a application. Now, so these are the differences, basic differences between microprocessor and microcontroller. Now, coming to the detailed discussion about the microcontroller. Microcontroller may be called as computer on chip. So here, what is meant by computer on a chip? So microcontroller is called computer on a chip. What is meant by computer on a chip? That means it has all the components embedded on a single chip. So here all the components means either it may be microprocessor or timers, serial ports, memory, okay, I/O ports. So all these will be embedded on a single chip. That is why the microcontroller is called computer on a chip. And so microcontrollers are dedicated devices that are embedded within an application. So here if you take any embedded system application, inside you will have different microcontrollers that are available. Each microcontroller will be dedicated to perform a specific task only. Now, so if you take an example, so this microcontroller we can use as an engine controller. So in order to control engine in automobile applications, we can use microcontroller. Now, so as an exposure and focus controller in cameras, that means in order to arrange the exposure and focus parameters in the cameras, we can use this microcontroller. So, and it is used to control the temperature in microwave ovens. So for controlling the temperature parameter, you can use some one microcontroller. So all these are some of the applications where the microcontroller, which is going to control specific operation in a big application, can be used. So that is why microcontroller is called a computer on a chip. Now, so these microcontrollers are fabricated based on CMOS technology. Next, so here on-chip peripherals are selected based on the task performed in an application. So here on-chip peripherals. So we have different peripheral devices that are present on microcontroller, like timers, serial ports, memory, that is RAM, ROM, okay, IO ports. Everything will be there on microcontroller on the chip. But based on the application, based on the task, only particular peripherals will be used. Now, so microcontrollers are also called as powerful digital processors. That the degree of control and programmability they provide enhances the effectiveness of the application. That means here microcontrollers are very effective. So that is why they are called power digital processors. Okay. So here they whatever the controlling or whatever the programmability that we can do by using microcontrollers, they will be performing very efficiently in an application. Now, so generally where we can find microcontroller, that means in which type of applications microcontrollers can be used. So microcontrollers can be used in some electronic devices like refrigerators, okay, so home theaters and microwave ovens, in some electronic gadgets like digital cameras, okay, so it can be used in mobile phones, it can be used in some applications like printers. So in all these electronic devices, microcontrollers can be used. Now, so some of the applications we can use microcontroller, different microcontrollers can be used, okay. So the microcontrollers can be used in washing machines, VCD players, microwave oven, and it can be used in robotics, and it can be used in some different industries in order to provide automation. So all those are some of the applications where microcontroller can be used. Now, coming to the advantages of microcontroller based systems, here are some of the advantages of using microcontroller instead of microprocessor. So what are the advantages means all the peripherals are integrated on a single chip, because all the peripherals are present on the chip. Because of that reason, the overall system cost is very less. So since all the components are present on a chip, the cost of the system will be reduced. Now, so as the peripherals are integrated within a microprocessor, the system is more reliable. Next, so another advantage is here, this is the main advantage. So microcontroller already has internal memory. That means on-chip ROM it is having, and on-chip RAM, and it also consists of IO ports. Okay. So if this inbuilt ROM and RAM, that is memory, is not sufficient, there is also possibility of adding extra ROM, RAM and IO ports externally, and you can use that external memory or peripherals, and you can interface that to the microcontroller if required. And so since here microcontroller is having on-chip ROM, it is providing very high software security. Next, so why we are choosing a microcontroller? Okay, so we can build the applications by using microprocessor and microcontroller, but comparatively, why this microcontroller is preferred among those two? So here, three reasons are there for choosing a microcontroller in the applications. So the first reason is here, meeting the computing needs of the task efficiently and cost effectively. That means it can reach the requirements very efficiently with less cost. That is one criteria. So here the speed of operation will be high. ROM and RAM that are available, it is already there inbuilt. If necessary, external memory can be connected. And the number of I/O ports, timers, size, packing, power consumption. Okay, power consumption is also less. This is one of the criteria. And another one is microcontrollers are very easy to upgrade and cost per unit is also less. So all these things we will see while selecting a microcontroller. And noise of environment. So that is the first criteria. And second, what we see in order to choose a microcontroller means, second, we are going to see availability of software development tools. That means modern tools what we can use. So with what tools this microcontroller is compatible. So here software development tools we have to see like what type of assemblers we are using. Okay, how about debuggers, C compilers, emulators, simulator, technical support. So we have to see also the software development tools which involves all these parameters. And third criteria is wide availability and reliable sources of microcontrollers. So all these are the main three criteria we are going to see when the microcontroller is selected, preferred. Now, coming to the types of microcontrollers, here the microcontrollers are divided into various categories. So how they are classified means based on the parameters like the number of bits, based on the memory, based on architecture and based on the instruction set. So we will see how the microcontrollers are classified based on the bits. So here based on the bits, the microcontrollers are classified into different types like we have 8-bit microcontroller, 16-bit microcontroller and also 32-bit microcontroller. So in our subject we are going to learn one microcontroller in detail, that is 8051 microcontroller. And that 8051 microcontroller comes under this 8-bit microcontroller. And next parameter, this is regarding bits. And next regarding memory, based on the memory, the microcontrollers are classified into two types, that is external memory microcontroller and embedded memory microcontroller. That means microcontroller, if the memory is connected externally, those microcontrollers comes under that classification. Some microcontrollers will have embedded memory, that means inside only memory. Those controllers comes under embedded memory microcontroller. And so based on instruction set, here based on the instruction set, the microcontrollers are classified into CISC and RISC. So complex instruction set computing and reduced instruction set computing. Now, so here types of microcontrollers we will discuss in detail. What is 8-bit, that is 16-bit and 32-bit. So first one is based on bits, it is divided into 8-bit, 16-bit and 32-bit. So here coming to the detailed discussion about 8-bit microcontroller. So which microcontrollers are called 8-bit microcontrollers? So this type of microcontrollers are used to execute the arithmetic and logical operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division on 8-bit data. And so for example, if you see Intel 8031 and Intel 8051, these are the two microcontrollers that comes under 8-bit microcontroller. And so based on bits, after this 8-bit microcontroller, the 16-bit microcontroller has come into existence. So what this 16-bit microcontroller will do? So this type of microcontroller is used to perform arithmetic and logical operations where higher accuracy and performance is required. So for example, if you take Intel 8096 microcontroller, that microcontroller is a 16-bit microcontroller. And based on bits, the next microcontroller is 32-bit microcontroller. So here, this type of microcontroller is generally used in automatically controlled applications like automatic operational machines, medical appliances. So in all these automatically controlled appliances, this 32-bit microcontroller will be used. So simply to say here, 8-bit microcontroller can be used for simple applications, whereas 16-bit microcontroller for higher applications, whereas 32-bit microcontroller for automatically controlled applications. So these are the three microcontrollers that based on bits, categorized based on bits. And next classification is based on memory. The microcontrollers are classified into external memory microcontroller and embedded memory microcontroller. So here in the external memory microcontroller, this type of microcontrollers are designed in such a way that they do not have program memory on the chip. So generally here we have two types of memories. One is program memory, another one is data memory. So in the program memory, program will be stored, that is code will be stored, and in the data memory, other than code, data will be stored. So here in the external memory microcontroller, it will not have inbuilt program memory. Program memory will not be present on chip. So that is why it is called as external memory microcontroller. So if you want, you have to connect that type of memory, program memory, externally only. So for example, if you take this Intel 8031 microcontroller, this microcontroller comes under external memory microcontroller. And based on memory, another classification is embedded memory microcontroller. So here the name itself says the memory will be embedded inside a microcontroller. So this type of microcontroller is designed in such a way that the microcontroller has all program and data memory. Along with that, counters and timers, interrupts, I/O ports, all these components will be embedded on the chip. So in this case, both the program memory and the data memory will be embedded on the chip. So that is why it is called as embedded memory microcontroller. So if you take example Intel 8051 microcontroller, it comes under this embedded memory microcontroller because in this 8051 we have inbuilt ROM and RAM. So that is what based on the memory the microcontrollers are classified. And next classification is based on the instruction set. So based on the instruction set, it is classified into two types. One is RISC, another one is CISC. Okay. So here CISC stands for Complex Instruction Set Computing. That means here single instruction will perform many functions. So the size of the code will be reduced. Less instructions can be used to write the program to perform particular task. So CISC stands for Complex Instruction Set Computer. It allows the user to insert a single instruction as an alternative of many simple instructions. So for the CISC process, instead of writing the program by using more number of simple instructions, it is possible by using a complex single instruction within single line, the same task can be performed. And another one is RISC. So RISC, RISC stands for Reduced Instruction Set Computer. And so it reduces the operational time by shortening the clock cycle per instruction. That means in this RISC here, we are going to write the program by using simple instructions only, but the length of the program is more. Though that is the problem, what is the advantage here means the operational time of shortening the clock cycle per instruction will be reduced, because here in order to execute one instruction, it requires only one clock cycle. But whereas here in CISC, the clock cycle is not uniform. It may vary based on the instruction. So that is what about the classification of microcontrollers. So among different types of microcontrollers, we are going to learn in detail about 8051 microcontroller. So this 8051 microcontroller is the first microcontroller that is designed by the Intel company. And so this 8051 microcontroller is a 8-bit microcontroller. It can perform simple operations. Like what are different simple operations it can perform and why it is called 8-bit microcontroller means. So the reading, writing and any data if it want to process, it will be processing only in terms of 8-bit only. So the reading will be only 8-bit, writing will be only with 8-bit, or if you want to process any information, it also will be in 8-bit size. Next, so here are different 8051 microcontroller families. So coming to this 8951, all these families differs based on the size of ROM, RAM, timer, okay, so interrupt source and IO pins, how many IO pins are there and what are other external devices that are present in the microcontroller. So if you see here, there are some external devices. So here WD is there for some microcontrollers. Okay, so WD here stands for watchdog, timer, and another device we have is ISP in some microcontrollers. So here ISP stands for in system programmable. And additional device here we also have AC. So these AC component is present in some microcontroller families. So here AC stands for analog comparator. Okay, so all these are related to 8051 microcontroller families. So all these microcontrollers differs based on the sizes of ROM, RAM, number of timers that are involved, the number of interrupt sources, and number of IO pins and other devices that are present. Okay. Now, so coming to the basic components that are available inside the microcontroller. So here it has two memories, internal memory, that is ROM and RAM, and it also consists of microprocessor and IO port, timers. It also consists of serial communication ports. All these are the basic components that will be present inside a microcontroller. Now we have to know, especially in 8051 microcontroller, what will be the specifications of that particular components. So suppose if you take this ROM in 8051 microcontroller, it has 4 kilobytes of ROM. That means inbuilt 4 kilobytes of ROM on the chip. And it consists of internal 128 bytes of RAM. And next, coming to here the IO ports, it consists of 4 IO ports, that is port 0, port 1, port 2 and port 3. Each port is of 8-bit in size. And coming to here the next component, it consists of 2 timers or counters, and each timer is of 16-bit in size. And coming to here the serial communication port, it consists of 1 serial interface. So all these are the basic components that are available inside 8051 microcontroller. Now, so this is the basic block diagram that is for 8051 microcontroller. So it has this interrupt control where all the external interrupts will be coming, and here this is CPU, that is microprocessor, and here this is OSC, which is called clock generator circuit, which will be producing the clock frequency for the 8051 microcontroller, and it consists of 4 kilobytes of ROM and 128 bytes of RAM. As we have seen in the components, it consists of 2 timers that is timer 0 and timer 1. Each timer is of 16-bit in size, and it consists of one serial port in order to perform the transmission and reception operations. And it also consists of 4 I/O ports. Here the 4 I/O ports are port 0, port 2, port 0, port 1, port 2 and port 3. All these ports are bidirectional. Each port size is of 8-bit. And it also consists of the bus control unit, which is used to connect the devices externally. So all these are the components that are present inside 8051 microcontroller. Now, so coming to the features of 8051 microcontroller, it consists of 8-bit data bus. That is why 8051 microcontroller is called 8-bit microcontroller. And it is having 16-bit address bus. And 4 register banks are there. Bank 0, Bank 1, Bank 2 and Bank 3. Each bank internally consists of 8 registers. And it also consists of 32 general purpose registers. Each is of 8-bit. That is why we have seen in the differences 8051 microcontroller is having more number of registers compared to microprocessor. So here 32 general purpose registers are there. Along with that, it is also having some registers like 16-bit program counter and data pointer, and 4 kilobyte of on-chip program memory, that is ROM, and it consists of 128 bytes of on-chip data memory, that is RAM, and it has 2 16-bit timers and 4 8-bit ports. That is 4 ports are available. Port 0, port 1, port 2 and port 3. Each port is of 8-bit. So all these are the features. So some more features here. 3 internal and 2 external interrupts. And it has 1 serial communication port, that is UART, Universal Asynchronous Receiver Transmitter. And bit as well as byte addressable RAM area is available, which is of 16 bytes in size, and 12 clock cycle constitute 1 mission cycle. So here 1 mission cycle is equal to 12 clock cycles. So those are some of the features of 8051 microcontroller. Now here, what is meant by embedded system? Because here 8051, microcontrollers are used in the embedded system applications. So an embedded system is a closely integrated, here this is the embedded system which will be closely integrated with the main system. So it may not interact directly with the environment. So for example, a microcomputer in a car ignition control, that is an example for an embedded system. An embedded product uses a microprocessor or microcontroller in order to perform a specific task only. And so there is only one application software that is typically burned into ROM. Now, so some of the examples of embedded system are keyboard, printer, video game player, MP3 music players, and embedded memories to keep configuration information, and mobile phone units, domestic home appliances, data switches, and automotive controls. So all these are some of the examples of embedded systems. Now coming to the architecture of 8051 microcontroller, as we have seen just the block diagram what it consists of. This architecture consists of all the internal components that are present in that blocks. Like we have seen 4 ports are there. So here this is port 1, and here this is port 0, port 2 and port 3. Each port is of 8-bit we have seen. Okay, so that and all will be clearly represented in the architecture. So as we have seen, it is having inbuilt ROM and RAM. So here this is RAM and here it is ROM. Okay, and it also consists of clock generator. So this is the oscillator. Okay, so different registers are available here. This is accumulator, B register. Okay, all these are the temporary registers. Here ALU is there, PSW, program status word, which is called a flag register, and here the stack pointer, program counter, DPTR, buffer, all these are different registers that are available inside. So the block diagram, whatever we have seen, internally each block consists of all these internal blocks. Now, so this is the pin diagram of 8051 microcontroller. So why I am showing that architecture and pin diagram means, so in order to justify what are the components, and we have seen 4 ports are there, each port is 8-bit. Just in order to say, here the architecture and pin diagram is given. In the coming sessions, we will discuss about this architecture and pin diagram in detail. So here, this is the pin diagram of 8051. It is a 40-pin IC. It consists of 4 ports, port 0, port 1, port 2 and port 3. Okay, so these are the 4 ports and each port size is of 8-bit. Okay, so this is what about the introduction to 8051 microcontroller. So in the coming sessions, we will discuss about this architecture and this pin diagram of 8051 microcontroller in detail. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.